إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Bonjour, Sat Sri Akal, Namaste. Dear friends and distinguished guests, good evening, and may the peace and blessings of God be upon you all. My name is Fahim Afan, and I'm excited to help start off this virtual Ramadan program for Ottawa. Before I begin, I'd like to recognize the Algonquin and Anishinaabe nations on whose traditional territory sits the city of Ottawa. We acknowledge them as the past, present, and future caretakers of this land. On behalf of the world head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at, the Khalif, His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, and the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at Ottawa, I wish you all Ramadan Mubarak. And thank you for spending your valuable time with us today. It is customary to always start our programs by invoking God's words. I would like to turn it over to Yahya Khan, who will provide a recitation from the Holy Quran. To you, Yahya.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون أياما معدودات فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر وعلى الذين يطيقونه فدية طعام مسكين فمن تطوع خيرا فهو خير له وأن تصوموا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر ولتكملوا العدة ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون.
Now to Noor Ahmed for the English and French translation of the verses just recited. To you, Noor.
Assalamu alaikum. I will read the English translation of the verses just recited. In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful. O ye who believe, fasting is prescribed for you as it was prescribed for those before you, so that you may become righteous. The prescribed fasting is for a fixed number of days, but whoso among you is sick or is on a journey shall fast the same number of other days. And for those who are able to fast only with great difficulty is an expiation, the feeding of a poor man. And whoso performs a good work with willing obedience, it is better for him, and fasting is good for you if you only knew. The month of Ramadan is that in which the Quran was sent down as a guidance for mankind with clear proofs of guidance and discrimination. Therefore, whosoever of you is present at home in this month, let him fast therein. But whoso is sick or is on a journey shall fast the same number of other days. Allah desires to give you facility, and He desires not hardship for you, and that you may complete the number, and that you may exalt Allah for having His guided you, and that you may be grateful. Maintenant, je vais lire la traduction française. Au nom d'Allah, le gracieux, le miséricordieux. Ô vous qui croyez, le jeûne vous est prescrit, tout comme il a été prescrit à vos devanciers, afin que vous soyez à l'abri du mal. Le jeûne prescrit est pour un nombre de jours déterminé, mais quiconque d'entre vous est malade ou en voyage devra jeûner un nombre égal d'autres jours. Et pour ceux qui ne peuvent pas jeûner qu'avec difficulté, il y a une expiation, nourrir un pauvre. Et quiconque fera le bien de son propre gré, c'est mieux pour lui. Et le jeûne vous est bénéfique, si seulement vous le saviez. Le mois de Ramadan est celui pendant lequel le Coran a été révélé, comme guide pour l'humanité, avec des preuves claires sur la direction et le discernement. Par conséquent, quiconque d'entre vous est présent chez lui pendant ce mois doit y jeûner. Mais quiconque sera malade ou en voyage devra jeûner pendant le même nombre d'autres jours. Allah désire la facilité pour vous et il ne désire pas la privation pour vous. Et il désire que vous complétiez le nombre de jours et que vous exaltiez la grandeur d'Allah pour vous avoir guidé et que vous ne lui soyez reconnaissant. Jazakallah.
Thank you, Yahya, and thanks, Noor. In its simplest definition, Ramadan is a month where Muslims fast every day from the break of the dawn till sunset. While that is true, the holy month of Ramadan means so much more to Muslims around the world. It is a time to self-reflect, to further commit to spirituality, to help, support, and pray for ourselves, our families, our friends, and humanity as a whole, and to strengthen our connection to our community. Interestingly, fasting in some form is part of many religions and faiths. In Encyclopedia Britannica, it is defined as follows. Commenced by far, however, all of the uses of voluntary fasting in the past and at the present time, its practice as an act of self-denial with definite religious intention by the greater number of religions in the lower, middle, and higher cultures alike. Fasting is largely prescribed, and where it is not required, it is nevertheless practiced to some extent by individuals as a response to the prompting of nature. This is the second year that our holy month has fallen during the current worldwide health crisis. And this means Ramadan isn't quite what we are used to. Instead of spending this month with our families or in the mosque with our community, we are spending it in isolation. However, Ramadan may be different. It does not mean we cannot still commit ourselves to our spirituality and fulfill the essence of Ramadan. In fact, this is an even more crucial time to do so. Even in isolation, we can strengthen our community, mentality, and spirituality. It is important to remember that while this is a very difficult time, we are in it together. We Canadians are stronger together, and we will get through this together. Thank you again for joining us today. Please remember to engage with us on Twitter. You can tweet your comments and questions using the hashtag VirtualRamadan, and it's also on the screen. To start our program, I would like to invite our National Vice President, Mr. Farhan Coker, to give some opening remarks. To you, Mr. Farhan Coker.
Thank you, Wahim. In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful. On behalf of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at, I would like to welcome all esteemed guests, politicians, dignitaries, and fellow Canadians. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you. By the grace of Allah, Muslims around the world are on a spiritual journey during the blessed month of Ramadan. They aim to transform their lives and with increasing spirituality and nearness to Allah Almighty. Ramadan is known as the holy month of fasting. We find that fasting is a common thread that binds world religions and has been observed from the time immemorial. In the Holy Quran, God Almighty states, "O ye who believe, fasting is prescribed for you as it was prescribed for those before you, so that you become righteous." Chapter 2, verse 184. The veracity of this verse will become self-evident with the content of the presentations today. Imam Luqman Ahmed will provide an Islamic perspective on service to humanity. Claudette Kamanda will speak about fasting from a First Nations perspective. Sinwan Bisharat will talk about the lessons of gratitude during fasting, and Imam Farhan Iqbal will share the Islamic perspective on fasting. Muslims look forward to the blessed month of Ramadan every year. Families come together in a special manner. It is a month of spiritual growth and moral development. Not eating throughout the day is not the most important part of fasting, but rather it is the spiritual guidance that accompany it. If you don't abstain from evil words or evil deeds, said the Holy Prophet Muhammad's peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, God has no need of your abstaining from food and drink. During Ramadan, mosques are filled with worshippers throughout the day. Normally 5 daily prayers are offered in a congregation. During Ramadan, the attendance increases manifold and prayers are more fervent. People from across the neighborhood gather the mosque for spiritual rejuvenation and opening of their fast. Children hand out dates and water to all attendees, while other kids collect empty bottles and wrappers. These are some of the great memories of past Ramadan. Regretfully, we are in another wave of COVID-19 and its resulting restrictions. Across Canada, the Ahmadiyya Muslim community is abiding with government guidelines and has closed or have extremely minimal presence at places of worship. However, while the mosques are empty, the spirit of Ramadan remains strong and vibrant in our hearts. Just as in last year, when Ramadan was impacted by COVID-19, this year again, members are following religious practices at home with greater zeal. His Holiness, Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, may Allah strengthen his hands, the head of worldwide Ahmadiyya Muslim community, recently stated, as he addressed the community, that many people have been writing to him, saying that during these days, a new change has come about in their homes through offering congregational prayers, listening to commentary of the Holy Quran, watching Friday sermons as a family, and various other programs on Muslim television, Ahmadiyya. Across the world, Ahmadi Muslims are fully engaged to attain most blessings from the month of Ramadan. As we cannot meet physically, in Canada, the virtual Ramadan campaign is launched for 2 reasons. First is to allow Muslims from across Canada come together as a family and virtually celebrate the blessed month of Ramadan. Second, to share with Canadians the beautiful teachings of Islam and give others a chance to participate with us in this blessed month. May Allah enable us to fulfill both objectives. In conclusion, I would like to share a quote from His Holiness, Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, regarding the ongoing pandemic. He said, "In the past year, we have been facing an extremely dangerous virulent disease. No country in the world is free from the pandemic, and it has affected some more than the others. However, it seems that the majority of the world does not wish to consider the possibility that this pandemic may be a sign from Allah, the Almighty, about how we must fulfill our obligations and responsibilities. They do not wish to consider that Allah, the Almighty, may be trying to awaken us, to guide us, and to make us realize our duties. This year will only be a year of congratulating one another if we fulfill our responsibility by informing people and making them realize their responsibilities towards God and to one another. It is obvious that in order to do this all, we will have to look first at our own state." Thank you very much for the opportunity. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Farhan Kubar sir. We got quite few video greetings from our friends across Canada. I will now request Mr. Sarmad Ahmed, head of our technical team, to play the messages we received from our respected guests. To you, Mr. Sarmad.
Assalamu alaikum. We are in the month of Ramadan, and I'm looking forward to celebrating this blessed time with you. Pour les musulmans du monde entier, le Ramadan est un mois de jeûne, de charité et de bonne action. Over the years, I've personally seen the strength of unity that this month brings to the Canadian Muslim community. This is an opportunity to learn and to join you in this holy month of purification and celebration. I know this Ramadan will be different with social distancing and prayer restrictions, but I also know that the Canadian Muslim community will still find ways to celebrate this special month. Votre participation à des collectes de nourriture et actions charitables est un merveilleux exemple du travail que vous faites pour aider les gens. I also want to give a special thank you to our frontline healthcare workers who will be fasting. You have dutifully stood up to the task while fasting 16-hour days. Au nom de tous les Canadiens, j'aimerais remercier ces héros de première ligne. I'm looking forward to celebrating with all of you, inshallah. Wishing your families a happy and blessed Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak.
Hello, bonjour à tous, assalamu alaikum. My name is Catherine McKenna and I'm the Member of Parliament for Ottawa Centre. Thank you so much for inviting me. I really wish I could have joined everyone here tonight. Ramadan is the holiest month in the Islamic calendar, and during this month, Muslims in Ottawa and across the world observe Ramadan by fasting from dawn till dusk, ending the day with iftar. What I love most about Ramadan is that it reminds us to put the needs of others before our own and to practice those values in our daily lives. Muslims in Ottawa and across the country have really stepped up during the pandemic. Individuals and organizations have been working to assist their friends, neighbors, and those in need. While we're unable to come together in person this year, this event is a testament that the same sense of community and care for others can still be achieved virtually. May this month bring you peace and happiness. Que ce mois vous apporte paix et bonheur. Ramadan Mubarak.
Everyone, Assalamu alaikum. I'm Deb Schult, the Member of Parliament for King Vaughan and Canada's Minister of Seniors. This week marks the beginning of the holy month of Ramadan, where Muslims will observe fasting from sunrise to sunset. It's a time for spiritual growth, reflection, and compassion for those less fortunate. While COVID-19 has impacted the way Muslims will celebrate the holy month of Ramadan, the determination and steadfastness to hold this virtual event and practice fasting under lockdown demonstrates the resiliency of the Muslim community. The Muslim community in King Vaughan is very diverse. However, the way Muslims come together to make our communities a better place through their entrepreneurship, donations, and serving on the front lines as essential workers, even while fasting, is a tribute to you and your faith. I'd also need, at this point, to mention the rise of hate crimes and attacks on racialized communities in Canada and throughout the world. My heart and thoughts are with those who've been impacted by such hateful acts of discrimination and racism. And I want you to know that I'll continue to use my voice to stand with the Muslim community here in King Vaughan and in Parliament. As you all continue to observe the month of Ramadan, I hope it brings you much peace, enlightenment, and blessings. Ramadan Mubarak.
Assalamu alaikum. To the Ahmadiyya Jama'at, I want to wish you all a Ramadan Kareem and acknowledge your Break a Fast with a Muslim program to raise awareness and to break down some of the prejudice that exists. In general, the Ahmadiyya Jama'at is so involved in helping out the community, in giving back and volunteer work. I believe you are so guided by the principles of love for all, hatred for none, and it shines through in the work you do. Thank you for everything, and I look forward to a future iftar where we can actually spend time together and we're not in a pandemic where we are so isolated and limited. But I want to acknowledge how you've been so creative in finding ways to connect despite this difficult time. But I look forward to the future. We will break fast in the future together and celebrate an iftar and Eid in the future. Once again, Ramadan Kareem.
co-chair of the Parliamentary Friendship Group for the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. I want to bring greetings on behalf of all of my colleagues and, of course, our Prime Minister, to wish you all a very successful Ramadan. It's a chance for you all to do some sacrificing, and maybe more of us should join you this evening and just do the fasting for a few days and realize just what an intense effort it is. But it's a good thing to be happening. It gives everyone an opportunity to reflect on the many things in our life, especially as we go through the difficulties with this pandemic. I want to encourage all of you who are participating in the virtual Ramadan to include everyone in our prayers. But most importantly, get your vaccines. Encourage your families to get protected so we can put an end to this. So I wish you all a very successful Ramadan and a virtual Ramadan that we're going to all participate shortly. Will be a nice evening for us to come together, even if it's virtually. So I look forward to that. All the very best to all of you. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Sonia Sidil, your Member of Parliament from Brampton South. Ramadan Mubarak to the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Thank you to Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at at Ottawa, Brampton, and across Canada for supporting Canadians when they need it most. Thank you for that. Please stay safe.
Assalamu alaikum. I hope everyone is doing well and keeping safe. This month of Ramadan is a time to reflect of those less fortunate and give thanks to everything that we have in our lives. May this month of Ramadan bring you peace, prosperity, and good health. Ramadan Kareem.
Thank you, Sarmat. Before we move on with our program, I would like to request that everyone to pray for the full recovery of our best friend, Rabbi Bulka, a beloved spiritual leader who has spent many decades helping others, regardless of their beliefs or faith. He was there for everyone, and now it's our turn to be there for him. May Allah the Almighty fully recover him from the cancer and grant him a long and healthy life. Amen. He was here with us last year and our very first virtual Ramadan program, and he was part of the Break a Fast with the Muslim programs for previous years, and has been a full supporter of all of the programs and events we have held in Ottawa. I will request everyone to specially remember him in your prayers tonight and during the month of Ramadan and even after Ramadan. Our next presentation is by Imam Luqman Ahmed. He will give an introduction of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat and briefly explain the humanitarian work our community takes part in across Canada. To you, Mr. Luqman.
Thank you, Fahim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. With the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful. Assalamu alaikum. May peace be upon all of you. First of all, I would like to welcome all of you to this virtual Ramadan event and express my deep gratitude and thanks to all of the guests who took the time to join us today for this event. As an Imam with the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at of Ottawa, I'm very thankful for your presence today, which reflects your open-mindedness and your willingness to engage with your fellow Canadian Muslims. As you're aware that today's event is being organized by the Ottawa chapter of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat of Canada. As such, I will be presenting a brief introduction of the community. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community is a fast-growing international revival movement within the religion of Islam. It was founded in 1889 and today spans over 200 countries. Its present headquarters are in the United Kingdom, where the spiritual leader of the community resides. What differentiates Ahmadi Muslims from other Muslim communities is that the Ahmadiyya Muslim community is the only Islamic organization to believe that the long-awaited Messiah has come in the person of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, peace be upon him, the founder of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. He was born in 1835 and passed away in 1908 in the city of Qadian in India. The major religions of the world, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, and others, foretold the coming of a Messiah, a divine reformer, whose purpose would be to bring people closer to God and lay the foundation for morality, justice, and peace. The Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat believes that the founder of the community, Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, is that divine reformer whose advent was foretold by the founder of Islam, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Presently, the community is headed by a central spiritual leader. 5 spiritual leaders have succeeded the Messiah since his demise in 1908. The 5th and current spiritual head, His Holiness Mirza Masroor Ahmad, resides in London, UK. Under his leadership of Spiritual Islamic Caliphate, the Ahmadiyya Muslim community manages over 16,000 mosques worldwide, over 500 schools, and 30 hospitals to serve mankind. The spiritual caliphate of the community continues to be an embodiment, a representative of the true Islamic faith and its values. A prominent feature of the community is that we recognize that the rights of human beings and sympathy and compassion for mankind are an essential part of Islam and indeed of all other religions. As such, the community has an international aid agency known as Humanity First. Through Humanity First, the community provides aid and assistance to those in need, irrespective of race, religion, or politics, from its registered offices now present in more than 43 countries globally. Locally, here in Canada, the community continues to thrive. The members of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat practice their Islamic faith in peace while serving their countries and being integrated in the larger Canadian society. Additionally, the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat of Canada runs various initiatives to educate people about the religion of Islam and to enhance mutual compassion between people and to reach out to people of all faiths and no faith. Today's program is an example of such initiatives. We try to educate fellow Canadians that the religion of Islam is primarily a peaceful, spiritual ideology. Hateful and bigoted actions of a few extremists or a few individuals do not represent most Muslims, and the hateful acts of such radicals are in fact not indicative of the true teachings of Islam and the character of the founder of Islam, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. To conclude, again, I would like to thank all of you for accepting our invitation to today's program, and I hope that today would be a wonderful experience for all of you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Imam Luqman. We have several respected guests with us today, all whom are very good friends of our community. I will invite these guests to say a few words. I'm going to quickly see who is here. So our first guest speaker is Honorable Bardish Chaggar, the MP from Waterloo and Minister of Diversity, Inclusion and Youth. Over to you, Minister.
Thank you so much. Oh, technology issues are always so present. Hello, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Je veux souligner que je me joins à vous de Waterloo en Ontario sur le territoire traditionnel des peuples Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, et Notre. And I think it's important that we take time to acknowledge the land, because to have a clear vision of where we're going, we need to have a better understanding of where we come from. I am so pleased to join you at the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat Canada's annual Iftar celebrations. Thank you once again. We cannot be in person once again this year, but I'm still glad that we're able to come together to celebrate virtually. The sacred month of Ramadan is a meaningful opportunity to emphasize the values at the heart of Islam: compassion, gratitude, and generosity. These values resonate now more than ever as Muslim communities from coast to coast to coast continue to make personal sacrifices in supporting Canada's efforts to confront the COVID-19 pandemic. Just like for all of you, the holy month of Ramadan is a celebration I look forward to every year, especially in my riding of Waterloo. Over my time as Member of Parliament, I have had the privilege of working with the Ahmadiyya community, including at the Baitul Kareem Mosque in the region of Waterloo. And that's why I also bring greetings on behalf of my Waterloo region colleagues, the Member of Parliament for Cambridge, Brian May, the Member of Parliament for Kitchener Centre, Rod Saini, the Member of Parliament for Kitchener-Conestoga, Tim Lewis. I want to take this opportunity to recognize the Ahmadiyya Muslim community and the important contributions you make each and every day, especially throughout this pandemic. Like the work of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Youth Association, who assisted residents in their communities by picking up groceries and register for their COVID-19 vaccine. This last year has not been an easy one. We have all been challenged, yet together as a country, we have found ways to adapt and move forward. Virtual celebrations like this have taken place over the past year and given Canadians an opportunity to connect like never before. For example, this event tonight is open to people from coast to coast to coast. We know that we are stronger when we come together. As Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has said, Canadians understand that diversity is our strength. We know that Canada has succeeded culturally, politically, economically, because of our diversity, not in spite of it. Yet we know that a multicultural society, one that is truly open and inclusive, is always a work in progress. It demands our effort, our attention, and our care. Understanding diversity means celebrating everything that it has to offer, while also combating all forms of systemic racism, prejudice, and discrimination, including Islamophobia. As a government, as Canadians, as a society dedicated to diversity and inclusion, we must not stand idly by and allow any forms of Islamophobia, racism, discrimination, or hate to go unchallenged. Together, we must continue our work in building better and consciously more inclusive Canada, where everyone is able to be their true, authentic self. As Minister of Diversity and Inclusion in Youth, and as a Member of Parliament for Waterloo, I would like to take this moment to wish everyone a Ramadan Mubarak. Thank you so much to all volunteers, all supporters who have come together to bring us together. I wish you the very best. To all listening, keep well and safe. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Thank you for such nice words and a nice message. Our next guest speaker is our another friend, Minister Stephen Lecce, the MPP of King Wan and the Minister of Education. To you, Mr. Lecce.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much, Fahim. It's a pleasure to be with you, to my colleagues from Parliament of Canada and City Council. I see an old friend, Senator Tulijan, who's with us, as well as MP Garden Genius. It's a pleasure to be with you and really with all parliamentarians across the country and party lines as we really celebrate Ramadan and what this period of spiritual reflection really means to Canadians. And I've got to say, while we face incredible adversity in this country, I would submit around the world, the principle of the spirit of never giving up, I think, is something that has been so well illustrated by your compassion, your leadership, and your continuous contribution to your community. And I am often impressed and inspired by Humanity First, that has been doing amazing work in Ottawa, right across the national capital, and really right across the country and the world. I've seen it firsthand. I also have very proudly a large, enterprising Ahmadiyya Muslim community at the Baitul Islam Mosque. It's where I had the benefit of meeting Imam Iqbal and of meeting with many leaders that are on with us today. But our unity, I think, is the sense of pride we have in living in this country, really the best country in the world, a place of freedom that has given protection for persecuted Canadians around the world, including most especially Ahmadiyya Muslims that have faced that persecution back home. And the importance of us standing united in the defense of those values of human rights and freedom, I think, is so important today more than ever. I also just want to say thank you to the young leaders. Sometimes are missed in these discussions. Not in the Ahmadiyya community, you are amazing at profiling young women and men, boys and girls that have made a big difference. But I want to thank them, especially on behalf of our government, my colleagues, Dr. Fullerton, Lisa McLeod, Goldie Gamari, and Jeremy Roberts, all of whom I know are very grateful for the contributions they're making in their own local communities. So Ramadan Mubarak. Fahim, thank you for everything you do in the community, liaising with the entire country. And I just wish everyone a very positive and safe Ramadan. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to speak with you tonight.
Thank you, dear friend. Thanks for such nice words and such a nice message. And now I would like to invite Member of Parliament Gardner James. Who is also the co-chair of the Parliamentary Friends Association of Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at Canada. To you, Gardner.
Well, thank you, Fahim. It's such a pleasure to be with you and with so many friends, politicians from all parties and various levels on this call. Assalamu alaikum to all of you. I love being at iftar celebrations. I always feel a little bit guilty because usually it's my fourth meal of the day, even though everybody else has been fasting all day, and yet people are so hospitable. They insist that I take the food first. So I have to say the best chod papri you'll find anywhere in the world is at the mosque in my riding, but the second best is at the Ahmadiyya Center in Stevens riding in Vaughan. So it has been such a pleasure for me to get to know the Ahmadiyya Muslim community over the course of my time in Parliament. Your emphasis on love for all and hatred for none is so profound and so fundamental to what not just Muslims but people from so many different faiths believe and seek to practice. And in these challenging times, what we need more than anything, I think, is that sense of shared humanity and solidarity and a voluntary commitment to the well-being of others that is so much emphasized by the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. And I continue to call on governments at all levels to recognize the power and potential of that community level solidarity, of the role of faith communities in supporting people during challenging times. It can't all fall on government. Inevitably, no matter how well designed a government program is, people fall through the cracks, and that is why the charitable contributions, the community orientation, the solidarity of yours and so many other faith communities is so important. Ramadan is of course a time when you emphasize the values of charity and of sacrifice, of giving back to others, and of committing to seeking that closer connection with and relationship with God. And always during Ramadan, I'm reminded of how blessed we are to have religious freedom here in Canada, and of the need to think about and pray for those around the world who do not have the same religious freedom. I'm thinking about the Uyghur Muslim community in China right now, which Parliament has recognized as facing an ongoing genocide, just a horrific treatment of people because of their faith. And when we first started speaking about the Uyghur, when I first started speaking about the Uyghur issue, it was in the context of Ramadan, and in context of aggressive efforts by the government to prevent people from fasting, to try to force people to eat during the day in violation of their religious obligations. And of course, as well, we have spoken about, and I've spoken out specifically about the persecution faced by Ahmadiyya Muslims in particular in Pakistan and other places. And I have, I've spoken about the need for Canadian engagement on defending religious freedom and defending the rights of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community in particular. I think all of us are conscious of the fact that while we are here in Canada practicing faith, talking openly, practicing openly based on deeply held religious beliefs, that there are many places in the world where people from the Ahmadiyya Muslim community and other backgrounds are actively prevented by the government from practicing those same beliefs. So we continually need to commit ourselves in that broader sense of solidarity to attend to what is happening around the world. Thank you so much. It's great to be with you again. God bless, and I look forward to eating figs and chad papri and curry with you in person next year.
Thank you very much, Garnet. Thanks for a nice message. Yes, definitely we missed that. So we would like to have our next iftar program on the hill, back on the hill again, so we can all enjoy the nice food. So our next guest has been the Canadian Senator since 2010. I would like to invite our friend, the Honorable Salma Ataullah to say a few words.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, and I want to acknowledge all my colleagues from the federal, provincial, and municipal parliaments. You know, it's so good to see Minister Lecce. He and me, we have canvassed in his riding, and we have a special bond with the people in that riding. And I miss the gatherings that we used to have in June. And inshallah, next year, hopefully, we will be able to, you know, once again be together. So unfortunately, this is the second time we must celebrate Ramadan virtually, an experience shared with many religions this year, with the prayer that the next year will be different. Still, we find ways to come together in celebration and find comfort in the act of fasting itself. Fasting helps purify your body, it renews your faith, and allows you to seek forgiveness. It increases your discipline by controlling desires. It also brings forth in you greater compassion for those in need. Each day of fasting, feeling a hunger and thirst with the knowledge that it will end at sunset, deepens the empathy you feel for those whose hunger is not by choice and knows no end. For me, on a personal level, when I fast, I find a calmness envelops me. My senses feel heightened. And I remember as a child, Ramadan would be such a joyous occasion. Getting up in the middle of the night to share a meal with family and friends, preparing feasts for sunset was something we all looked forward to. There's a certain closeness and joy that comes with eating food together, whether in person or virtually. When once again we gather with friends and family to break fast, we will stand united in prayers. This Ramadan, as most of us continue to struggle, both individually and as a community and country, I am reminded of God's words in the Quran, and I quote, "Indeed, after hardship there is ease. Indeed, after hardship there is ease." Thank you for inviting me to be part of this virtual iftar, and Ramadan Mubarak.
Thank you, Senator. Now, I'm just going to invite somebody who actually has to leave for another meeting. And he's a very good friend of our community. And actually, he was a counselor from our mosque area. He had he's been always there, and now he's been a selected MPP from the Orleans area. I would like to invite Mr. Stephen Blay to say a few words.
Well, thank you very much, Fahim, and good evening, everyone. It's an honor to be invited to participate once again in the breaking of the fast in this new tradition that the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at has started. And I think even when next year we're able to meet in person, online engagements like this are an excellent opportunity to educate and to share the experiences of Muslims with a broader audience in our community. And I still remember when members of the AMJ came to meet with me about setting up a very modest mosque in an old school in Cumberland Village, and how excited I was to welcome the community to the east end of Ottawa, and the amazing difference that Imam Iqbal and Imtiaz before him have made, and all the members of the AMJ in Ottawa have made to Cumberland and to Orleans. So thank you very much for your dedication to our community. As others have said, your message of love for all and hatred for none resonates everywhere. And I want to offer my continued friendship and just thank you very much for your friendship. And I look forward, as everyone has said, to gathering with you all next year, and we can break the fast in person. So Ramadan Mubarak.
Thank you very much, Mr. Blay. Yes, indeed, we'll love to meet again next year, not only for the food, but also for the company of the amazing people, as just Minister Bharat Shagar told me on the message on the side. Yes, definitely, indeed, we can't wait for that. We will love to meet all of you again in person and enjoy our meal together and have a good time. Our next speaker is the MP Mary France Lalonde. I would like to invite her to say a few words. She's also the MP from the Orleans area, where our mosque is.
Mary France,
MP,
yeah. Well, there you go. It had to happen, technology 101. Thank you, dear colleague, and certainly thank you, Fahim. Hello, everyone, distinguished guests and colleagues. Assalamu alaikum. What I was saying is, although we once again need to meet virtually, I'm so glad to be amongst you together for this Ramadan event of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at Ottawa. During this month, Muslims in our community and across Canada observe a time of charity and spiritual contemplation. Ramadan reminds us to put the needs of others before our own and to practice those values in our daily lives. I want to thank our Muslim community for all of your contribution to Orléans and for being so careful in respecting the guidelines to stop COVID-19. I know it's difficult for you all as you can't gather in your mosque as you would usually do this time of the year. But I'm most pleased that even during these challenging times, Muslims in Orléans, Ottawa, and across Canada are able to come together virtually to celebrate Ramadan together. May this month be filled with joy, blessings, and generosities towards others. I want to thank Fahim for his continued leadership and for initiating an event like this Break a Fast event to make sure that we can gather to mark the month of Ramadan all together today. C'est toujours un plaisir de me joindre à vous en cette période de réflexion et de partage. Ramadan Mubarak.
Thank you very much, MP, for such a nice message. Thanks a lot. Now, our next guest who I would like to invite is one of my best friends who I think I think he doesn't like it when I become his friend because I always bug him, but he's always there to help us. He's always there. I was used to live in his riding and I was used to bug him a lot. But then I moved out from his writing and think he's happy because of that. So to you, my friend Chandra Arya.
Thank you, Farin. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Ramadan Mubarak. It's nice to see you again, Fahim. And Farhan Iqbal, is also nice to see you. And I'm so glad I'm seeing Claudette Commander. It's more than a year since I last saw you. We used to meet at so many events in Ottawa, but for last 13 months, we have not seen and not met. It's good to be back here, though virtually. And we all know that Ramadan is a time for spiritual contemplation. This is also a time to reflect on the values of gratitude, compassion, and generosity, which are all at the heart of Islam. Like last year, this year too, while fasting, many Muslim Canadians are very active on the front lines in our fight against COVID-19. I think we should all recognize the contribution, especially of the Muslim Canadians who are working hard on the front lines during this pandemic while still continuing to have fasting. It's nice to meet you all. Hopefully this all will end soon and we can get back to the mosque, to the in-person celebration. I think during the last 1 year, only once, if I'm not wrong, that was to celebrate Canada Day, of course, keeping social distancing that we met at the mosque. And hopefully this coming Canada Day too, we can meet again in person. Thank you all again. Assalamu alaikum.
Definitely, we're looking forward to that. So hopefully, we'll be in better situation and we'll behold the Canada Day event again at our mosque in Cumberland. And I'm definitely looking forward to see you, and I definitely miss the coffee time with you. So hopefully next time soon. Now our next guest is MP Sumer Zuberi. He's joining us from all the way Quebec, from Quebec. I think it's the first time he is here with us. So I would like to invite him to say a few words to you, Mr. Zuberi.
Thank you, Fahim. And it's actually the second time I was on the Hill. I think we had something in person before COVID actually hit. So that was really nice, actually.
I remember.
But it's great to see everybody. Many familiar faces and many new faces. And so much has been said already. So I'll maybe say something new, which is that, Ramadan is challenging. It's always challenging every month when it rolls around. And in pandemic life, it's in some ways more challenging because the social interactions that we look forward to, in addition to spirituality, but the social interactions that we look forward to are not there. I know in Montreal here, we aren't able to visit each other, open up our fast with family and friends. We have to stay within our households. And that's something that, that we can't fully appreciate this year. We hope though, to see it in the future next year. Another thing that we're missing, unfortunately, is how houses of worship, people can't gather readily in most places. There are real restrictions in some cases, like in Montreal, the island of Montreal, houses of worship are closed after 8 p.m. So a lot of what Ramadan is about can't fully be realized in a group setting. But on the flip side, there are really some real positives during COVID and pandemic life while living Ramadan. And that's where you can actually work from home and, manage your energy levels and do your work fully, but take a cat nap if needed. And that's kind of nice, So I'll leave it at that. I'll say also that, give a note that, thankfully we're all here in Canada where we can fully practice our religious freedoms. And we know that in some of the Muslim majority countries, that's not always the case. And I think that aspect of Canada, how we all come together and how we all can celebrate who we are and fully be who we are and still coexist, live together, is something that is amazing and that we need to share with the rest of the world in our conversations with our family and friends overseas. I want to wish everybody around Ramadan Mubarak and hope to see you in person next time.
Thank you, Samir. It was lovely to have you again this year. Hopefully, like as everybody's saying it, we will be able to see each other individually at the Hill. Now, our next guest speaker is Member of Parliament, Francis Druin. I don't see him here. Maybe we will move to the next presentation and wait for him to join. So thank you to all of our wonderful guest speakers for your kind words. Now our next presentation is on fasting and First Nation, presented by our very dear respected friend, Claudette Commanda. So Claudette, to you for our next presentation.
Greetings to all. Thank you, Fahim, for inviting me to come and speak to your community. I'm very honored, very, very, very honored. And it's really nice. Thank you for those nice words, Chandra, and Minister Bardish too as well. So I begin by saying, Kwe kakina, kwe, pijajikoma, and ishnabeeki o mamaweneniwag. Ka nimich kijigun kinu nidishnakaz, kitagan zibi donjaban. Bienvenue tout le monde. Bienvenue ici au territoire ancestral de mes Papagonquins. As always, I'm very honored to welcome brothers and sisters and everyone to this beautiful, unsurrendered, unceded homeland of my people, the Algonquin. It's always a blessing to meet brothers and sisters from various walks, various beliefs. We know that the Creator, God, the one that created all, that made all, He blessed each and every one of us with something that was so important, and that was love. We must continue to love one another and respect one another. And I'm thankful and very honored to be here to share with you what does fasting mean from a First Nations perspective. I listened to each and every one of your beautiful, kind words, and my heart is filled definitely with love and appreciation. At the same time, my heart was a bit sad, but I'm thankful that the law that was against my people to practice our spirituality is no longer here. Because there was a time that in this country called Canada, and even in the United States, there were laws that were passed that we were not allowed to exercise our spirituality. Different religions were forced on us, and we had to go underground. We had to go underground to say our prayers, to speak our language, to do our fasting. And I'm very thankful that despite all the suppression that we continue to survive, and I'm thankful that we now can openly exercise our spiritual rights and our spiritual beliefs, and that we can openly conduct our fasting. So, and I'm thankful that everyone, no matter who you are, that we have that freedom to exercise our spiritual and religious beliefs. So we do this together as a community of love, and as a community of respect, and a community of brothers and sisters. My name is Claudette Commanda, that's my English name. But my spirit name, who I am, and my identity of my language is Kanimich Kijigun Kinu. And that name was given to me, and I had to fast for that name. I had to fast 4 years before that spirit name was given to me. And I'm thankful for that. What does fasting mean for First Nations communities? Well, I need to be mindful that there's a diversity of First Nations across Canada, and each First Nation has their own belief system and their own protocols and laws specific to fasting. But what I will share with you is what I was taught, what I believe, and what I follow in my Anishinaabe way of life as an Algonquin person. Fasting, there's different rules and different protocols for fasting when it comes to women and comes to men. But overall, fasting is about sacrifice. It's about commitment. It's that purification. It's healing. But it's that spiritual obligation and responsibility that we have to Creator, God, and to ourselves. We owe that to Creator. He gave us that responsibility. Fasting is about protocols and responsibilities, and for how I fast is that, again, it relates to those laws and the protocols. For we, the Anishinaabe, either we fast before all the leaves bud, or we fast before all the leaves fall. So I do my fasting either April or May, and I do my fasting either September or October. So you see April, May before the leaves bud, September, October before all the leaves fall. And for women, we fast for 4 days. For men, they fast for 7 days. And when we fast, before we do our 4-day fasting, there's 30 days before that we have to prepare our body. We have to be mindful what we eat. We have to be mindful we can't have any caffeine in our bodies or various foods. We have to eat very lightly, because when we fast for 4 days, we begin at sundown. We'll say about maybe 6 or 7 o'clock, and we fast for 4 straight days and nights, and we end that fast on the 4th at 6 o'clock or when the sun goes down. And we cannot even have any water. We completely give of ourselves to Creator. We completely fast. We are constantly in prayer through words, in prayer through those special songs, those sacred songs, in prayer through those healing dances. It's about healing of oneself. It's for healing of our families and our friends, and even for someone who may be battling a particular disease. And if that person will come to me and say, can you sponsor me? Can you dance for me? Can you pray for me? Can you fast for me? Through your fast, can you pray for my healing, for my life? And we can never say no. We always have to accept, because we are giving back to Creator what He gave us, life. We're giving that life to someone else. Fasting is honoring those 7 grandfathers, the 7 grandfathers who we call love, wisdom, courage, humility, honesty, and truth. Fasting, it nourishes our spirit, it opens our mind, it strengthens our heart, and it re-energizes our physical. And fasting truly teaches us to appreciate water, because water, in our belief, in our creation story, water is that first creation. Mother Earth, she was water. And from that water, land came. And from that land came the plant life, the medicine life, and came the animal life, and then human life. And so therefore we, through our fasting, we give thanks. We give thanks to the animals. We give thanks to the medicine life, the trees, the land, and to the plant life. And we give thanks to the water. But we also acknowledge all of our brothers and sisters, not only as First Nations, but all of our brothers and sisters across the world. And we honor, definitely, and always honor Creator. Always give thanks to God as we honor our ancestors, and we remember our ancestors. We remember our relatives who've lived here and are gone on to that spirit world. We remember our relatives who continue to be here with us, and we remember all those spirit helpers. But it's about praying and giving thanks. For it is said that in order to receive, we must give its sacrifice, its commitment, its responsibility, its nourishing of our spirit, and it's about love, truly about love. For God truly loved us. He created us and He gave us everything that we need to live on this earth as human beings. And we take that love back with us when we return home to that spirit world. So to you, my brothers and sisters of the Muslim community, the Muslim faith, I wish you a blessed month of Ramadan, and let us together continue to walk that road of love, because love is power, and love is peace, and love is kindness. We must remain true to God. We call Him Gishiminado. Gishiminado, or Gijendaget. Gijendaget means the one who created all, the Creator. Gishiminado. His spirit, His great spirit is all around us. And we truly believe in that one Creator, one who created everyone and created all. And I leave you with these words to say that the 7 grandfathers are here for each and every one of us. And let us continue uphold that. And I thank you for giving me this time to share with you what fasting means. And I can tell you that it's not easy. No, it isn't, because you're sacrificing, physically sacrificing, and you're giving up your coffee. But I can tell you, the very first time I did my 4-day fast in the mountains on the land, the first 24 hours was difficult because you think of food. But afterwards, it was water. I wanted just to have that one drop of water. And I was offered that water, but I said no. I made that commitment. I made that commitment to God that I would fast. I would live this responsibility, this gift of fasting that he gave me, and my commitment to those that reached out to me to pray for them. And I could not break that. And I can tell you, after the 4 days, I truly appreciated the water, and I appreciated the re-energizing of my spirit, the open of my mind, and the dreams that came, because the Creator blessed me with those visions and prayer. And I really appreciated hearing the reciting of the Quran, when your for our word in Algonquin for prayer is Emiyawin, and that means to chant, because we always chanted our prayers. We always sang our prayers. And when you think of prayer, what that means, Emiyawin, to chant, it's a song, and it's a song from our heart that we sing to the Creator, and He continues to sing for us. So thank you, my brothers and sisters, and just, there's no word for goodbye, but what we do say is, Ayangwamazin Niwichkiwedug Nigawabmin. And until we see each other again, you take good care, and God bless. God bless. Kizagian, I love you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much for such a nice presentation, Claudette. It was amazing. It was amazing to hear the commonalities and also the love, because our motto is also love for all, hatred for none. And we live by that. Okay, so we quickly have to move to, with the program, because unfortunately we have to end this program by 7:56, because that's the time when we are going to break a fast. So now we're going to go back to our guests, and I'm sorry, but I'll have to request all the guests to keep their comments around 1 minute, 1 minute to 90 seconds maximum. So with that, I'll request, I can see our friend MP Francis Drohan is here, so I would like to request him to say a few words. He's an MP from our mosque area, where our mosque is in Ottawa.
Thank you, Fahim, and I apologize for my lateness, but my little one has not learned how to fast, and 7 o'clock is his sleep time, so I will be short. Ramadan Mubarak to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was really short. So next time you should bring your little one on here too, if we are doing a virtual, which hopefully we're not, so you can bring him to the parliament with you. Our next guest is, so our next guest is one of our friends, which I met in actually Baitul Islam a few years ago. And as we continue, I happen to know him, and I've worked with him at Cardus as well on some different stuff. And he's a very wonderful man and very close friend of our community. I would like to invite Father Deacon Andrew Bennett to say a few words.
Well, thank you very much, Fahim and Farhan. It's good to see you both. Peace be with you. Commenting during this holy month of Ramadan for all of you, I reflect back that as Christians, now that we're celebrating Easter, we just came out of the holy season of Lent. And I want to sort of kind of say what Senator Atulajan said, that these seasons of fasting can be seasons of great joy, because they allow us to reflect on the importance of prayer. And a fast is never an end in itself. It's always directed towards something of a higher value, such as prayer and growing closer with God. So as you fast, while we celebrate after our fast, know that I keep the Jama'at in my prayers, and I pray that we will be together again very soon. So Fahim, Farhan, and to all of the Jama'at, Ramadan Mubarak, and I hope we see each other very soon. God bless you.
Same here. I hope we can see each other very soon. So hopefully next year, I'm already planning for that we'll be back at the show. So So Chadish, Bardish, you will have to make sure that we get back on the hill next year. So okay, our next guest who I would like to invite is also a very good friend of our community, and we met a long time ago and became very good friends of each other. I'd like to request Rashad Marshall. I hope I pronounced your name right, even though I know him for a very long time, but I'm not good at French pronunciation. So I'd like to invite him to say a few words.
Thank you, Fahim. Ramadan Mubarak. C'est un très grand plaisir pour moi d'être ici ce soir representing CJA, the advocacy agent of the Jewish Federations of Canada. As you know, Fahim and dear friends, Judaism and Islam are sister religions, and we both see our origin in Abraham or Ibrahim's revelation. And this family relationship is too often overlooked, and it needs to be remembered. And for an observant Jew like me, it is an honor to participate in this event tonight during the holiest month of Ramadan. It's a pleasure to be here with the community and all the MPs and MPPs and municipal councils and ministers. Fahim, having recently just came out of Pesach or Passover, without families, without friends, under lockdown, we know how hard it is to celebrate in those circumstances. But it is my hope that, and that of the entire Jewish community, that the Almighty shower you with all the love and all the blessings and all the harmony and all the peace that your community and all our country deserves. Ramadan Kareem, and I look forward to being with you in person next year.
Thank you very much, Richard. So our next guest who I would like to invite is actually joining us from Brampton. He's also a very good friend of our community. I'd like to invite our MPP Amarjot Sandhu to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Fahim Saab. Assalamu alaikum to my brothers and sisters at Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat in Brampton and around the world who are observing Ramadan. It is no secret that we are going through unprecedented and challenging times, and it is more important now than ever that we're coming together to celebrate our special days, even though virtually. And during this crisis, the value at the heart of Islam, compassion, gratitude, and generosity, and the values at the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat, which is love for all and hatred for none, resonate more than ever. Over 500,000 of people of Muslim faith are part of our great province, and we value the contributions you have made along with the hard work you do to enhance our shared prosperity and growth. Muslim Canadians have always made our country a better and stronger place to live. And as you take this time for prayer, fasting, and personal reflection, I hope you're surrounded by faith and peace. On this spiritual journey, I wish you and your loved ones peace, happiness, and good blessings. And I look forward to celebrating with you in person next year, when things will get better as we continue to vaccinate more and more people every day. So once again, stay safe, stay healthy. Ramadan Mubarak, everyone.
Thank you very much, dear friend. Thanks for such nice words. Our next speaker was supposed to be Goldie Gamari, MPP from Carleton, Ottawa, but I just got a message from her that she got stuck somewhere, so she will not be able to join us today. So now I'll move to our last speaker. He is a very good friend of our community, and I would like to invite the Deputy Police Chief, Mark Ford. He is representing the police force and also our frontline heroes who are here to keep us safe all day and every time. To you, Mr. Mark Ford.
Assalamu alaikum. On behalf of the Ottawa Police Service, I want to wish all of you a blessed and peaceful Ramadan. Thank you very much for including us, and I'd like to mention that I am not alone. There are others that have joined us on tonight from the Ottawa Police Service, and I'm going to speak to Constable Megan Blair as well as Hamid Musa that are part of this tonight, and I know they do tremendous work with the various communities that make up our great city. It's an honor to represent the first responders, but when I say about first responders and working on the front lines, in particular with COVID-19, I know that we are not alone. Your community, amongst many, many other communities, have been there with us. in making sure that we get through these difficult and challenged times. The many contributions that your communities have made to our city since the pandemic began, we are very fortunate to have those. And whether it is supporting each other through this emergency, a pandemic, a tornado, a flood, keeping our community safe, addressing hate crime, ensuring that our communities and workplaces are truly inclusive. I think it was said best at the beginning, we are all in this together. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community has enriched our city with kindness, generosity, and compassion, and we are so blessed to have this. On behalf of the Chief of the Ottawa Police, and on behalf of all members of the Ottawa Police, I want to extend our best wishes to our valued community partners, and may you have a blessed celebration and Ramadan Mubarak.
Thank you very much, our Deputy Chief. Now we'll move to our, we have another friend here who has been fasting today with us, and I would like to invite him to share his experience with us. Mr. Tony Pinto, if you can share with us your experience in about 60 seconds, so that will be great. Thank you very much to you, Mr. Pinto.
Hello, guys. Happy Mubarak. I'm just gonna do this within the time frame because I know you're tied up for time. But basically, what happened in 2017, I was part of fasting, just experience with my neighbor, Mr. Muhammad Malik, and I'm just gonna read exactly my experience here so we don't get all mixed up. So for 17 hours on Tuesday, Tony Pinto got firsthand understanding of the meaning of Ramadan. Pinto, Brazilian Canadian Catholic, spent the day fasting with his friend Muhammad Malik, a Pakistani Canadian Muslim in Malik's family. So when I had this experience, I felt like I was kind of doing something good. It gave me strength to go through the day while being hungry. And the most important thing for me was remaining hungry and thirsty is one part of fasting, but another part, it's self-control and discipline and thinking of those who are less fortunate. That's it. Happy Mubarak. I wish you all the best. And it's always been a pleasure to take part of it. And I also want to be at the Parliament, same as last time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope Mr. Malik is preparing a nice iftar for you today.
He is actually, yes.
Good.
Absolutely.
Good. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for such nice words. Our next presentation is on Ramadan and Lessons of Gratitude by Sinwan Basharat, who is also the president of the youth chapter of our community in Ottawa East. To you, Sinwan.
Thank you, Fahim. And peace and blessings be upon you, all of you. Thank you for joining us this evening. Today, I'll just be speaking briefly about Ramadan and lessons of gratitude. As a young person, one of the main purposes of Ramadan is it should invoke a spirit of gratefulness. So this is a message that's really pertinent for me as a young person. You know, and if I look at myself and my peers, the mark of our life as a youth is very different from generations before us. We're a generation that's hyper-connected. We have all the information that we want at our fingertips. All the goods and services that we need, we can get them at our fingertips, at our doorstep within moments. If we're ever hungry, we can easily order on Uber Eats and get food delivered to our home. So we're used to this instant gratification. We're used to getting things very quickly. So when Ramadan rolls around every year, it really changes the rhythm of our life. Whereas before, perhaps our day was anchored, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, perhaps a coffee in between and a snack in the evening. It completely changes, and we spend 16 hours a day, or sometimes more, sometimes less, abstaining from food and abstaining from drink. And at the beginning, as our respected elder Claudette mentioned, that those pangs of hunger, that feeling of the coffee withdrawal or thirst really hits us. But then over time, we begin to actually really appreciate, especially in the evening, the great beneficence of having our family with us. We're really grateful about the company that we have. And of course, we appreciate the food. But while we're fasting, and when we feel those pangs of hunger, we realize that we're fasting by choice. At the end of the day, I know that within about 20 minutes or so, every day at evening time, I will be able to open my fast. we begin to realize that there's many people across the world, and even in our own city, in our own country, who don't have that luxury. They feel those pangs of hunger every day of their life. And in reality, it's not something that's completely foreign. More than between one in 6 children here in Canada even experience food insecurity. So this is a reality faced by many people in our own communities and our own society. In that spirit of fast, when we fast, we begin to experience that, we begin to empathize with people less fortunate than us. And that inspires us, and that inspires us to change our life as well. And as we know, and the 2 youth associations, the 2 chapters of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Youth Association in Ottawa, since the beginning of the year, we've been able to donate more than 6,000 pounds of food to different charities and different food banks across Ottawa. We know this year, because of COVID-19, many people have been really hit hard. People who lost their jobs, children who've maybe lost some family members as well. And the pandemic has really changed the needs of people. So when we're fasting, it inspires us to not just experience those pangs of hunger, but to take action and to support those people in our communities who are less fortunate. So this fasting, it inspires us, and I hope it can also inspire you as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sanwan. Yes, I know that we have to rush through this program now because we're getting close to iftar time. I will like to request Sarmad Saab to please play the video messages, the second set of video messages.
Ramzan Mubarak. Greetings to the members of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at of Canada. Ramzan gives an important message of serving the needy and underprivileged. It also reaffirms the importance of equality, brotherhood, and compassion. I pray for everyone's safety, well-being, and prosperity. May this holy month bring with it abundance of kindness, harmony, and compassion. May we achieve a decisive victory in the ongoing battle against COVID-19 to create a healthier planet.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Benoit Bacon, President and Vice Chancellor of Carleton University. Thank you, Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at Ottawa, for this opportunity to wish a safe and blessed Ramadan to the Muslim community. I want to thank all those celebrating for sharing the values of Islam, such as kindness, compassion, and charity with our local and global communities. As you reflect and celebrate during this holy month, I wish you and your loved ones joy, prosperity, and good health. Ramadan Mubarak.
Break Your Fast with the Muslim is an event that I attend for several years with our brothers from Al-Ahmadiyyas, and I try to support them because it's telling others who are the true Muslims, how we can support each other, how we can live peacefully in one community and love each other and understand the culture and religion of others. Thank you.
Hello, friends in the Muslim community. This is Joel Harden. I'm your member of Provincial Parliament here in Ottawa Centre. I want to wish you, from our family to yours, a very warm and safe Ramadan Mubarak. Be well, my friends. Take care.
Good evening, everyone. Bonjour. Assalamu alaikum. I'm honored to be part of the virtual Ramadan event put together tonight by the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at Ottawa. I know it's difficult to have to hold these celebrations separately yet again, but it's vitally important that we continue to follow the physical distancing guidelines to keep each other safe. I'm so glad that Muslims across the capital region are able to virtually celebrate Ramadan this evening, and that this event brings people of all faiths together to learn about the significance of this holy month in fasting. It's something I personally always look forward to participating in, and I very much look forward to doing it again with you all in person. Congratulations to the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at Ottawa for holding yet another successful virtual iftar dinner. May you all stay well during this month of reflection and prayer. Ramadan Mubarak to all those celebrating.
Hello, everyone. My name is Catherine Kitts. I am the Ottawa City Councillor for Cumberland Ward, which is home to the main mosque for the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at Ottawa community. Ramadan Mubarak to all. Thank you for welcoming me to your virtual celebration. It's an honor to be with you on this blessed occasion. To mark the beginning of Ramadan, I shared a message with the community to acknowledge the importance Ramadan places on modesty, acts of kindness, and helping the less fortunate. And in these difficult times we find ourselves in, I think the spirit of these principles can serve as a reminder to all about the hope and the blessings in our lives. I wanted to also take a moment to acknowledge those in the community who are working on the front lines in our healthcare system and in essential jobs. Thank you for your resilience, your strength, and for serving your community faithfully while observing fast. I look forward to a time when we can gather again at Parliament Hill to celebrate breaking fast together. But until then, I hope this Ramadan brings you all joy, light, and health. I'm wishing you all the blessings of the holy month. Stay safe, keep well.
Assalamu alaikum. Hello, bonjour. My name is Matthew Uloff. I am the City Councillor for Orleans Ward here in the beautiful capital of Canada. Ramadan Mubarak to all of my Ahmadiyya Muslim friends. What you have endured throughout Ramadan has brought you closer to God, closer to your community, and closer to your family. Thank you for your continued service before, during, and after this pandemic to our community. We are stronger because of you. Enjoy the breaking of the fast. You certainly have earned it. And I look forward to seeing you after this is all over. Take care.
Best wishes to you all at this special time of year. I know the situation today makes the celebration more difficult when the mosques must limit services and big family gatherings are not permitted. I know this is sad for you, when traditionally Ramadan is a time for family and celebration. Many of you are working on the front lines, and for that I thank you for your dedication. For the families that continue to be separated, I understand how difficult it is. I know the Muslim community in their faith will rise to the occasion and celebrate this holy month with the usual love, kindness, and family. May you all come together, even if it is virtually, and have a blessed celebration. Ramadan Mubarak.
Good evening. On behalf of Russell Township, it is my pleasure to virtually be here this evening. As you fast and offer prayers to Allah, may you find your peace and happiness. Kula am wa entum bikhair.
I am Mayor Black from the town of Carleton Place, and I would like to offer my sincere thanks to the Canadian Muslim community for inviting me to celebrate and for the opportunity to offer greetings of peace and happiness to you and your family during this time of reflection. This is a new experience for the Mayor of Carleton Place, one that I know will continue to grow as we welcome many new residents to our progressive community. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Ruby Sahoda, your Federal Member of Parliament for the riding of Brampton North. Muslims in Canada and around the world are marking the beginning of Ramadan, a month-long spiritual journey of fasting and prayer. Traditionally, Ramadan is a time of collective gathering. Families and friends observe Ramadan by getting together, fasting during the day, and ending their day with iftar. Once again, Ramadan will look different as we continue to fight the global COVID-19 pandemic and work to protect our communities by staying home and following the advice of public health experts. From mosques hosting Friday prayers online to families having iftar virtually, Muslim Canadians will be doing their part by sacrificing on many fronts this year. During this crisis, the values at the heart of Islam, compassion, gratitude, and generosity resonate more than ever, as we see Muslim Canadians helping their neighbors. A time of charity and spiritual contemplation, Ramadan reminds us to put the needs of others before our own and to practice those values in our daily lives. Let us take the time to recognize and show gratitude for the invaluable contributions Muslim Canadians make each day in our country. On behalf of my family, I wish everyone celebrating a blessed and peaceful Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak.
Thank you very much. Our next presentation is Fasting in Islam by Imam Farhan Iqbal.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. In the name of Allah, the gracious and merciful. All of our guests and viewers today, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon all of you. I would like to first thank you all for making so many wonderful comments, remarks, presentations about fasting, about Ramadan, and for joining us for this event, Break a Fast with Muslims event that we have been holding every year for a number of years now. And last year and this year, this event has been virtual. This is an event which has a purpose of bringing different communities together and also a chance to remove misconceptions that people might have about the Muslim community, about Ahmadi Muslims. You know, fasting in itself can bring us together because, as we just heard from the other presenter about First Nations and fasting among First Nations, this is something that is universal. And we see that in all different faiths, among the First Nations, among people of other faiths, even people with no faith. They use fasting as a means to improve their physical health. So fasting is something that can bring us together, and given our current circumstances, it's very important. As it has many lessons. The month of Ramadan, the whole practice of fasting, it has many lessons. There's a verse of the Holy Quran that says, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu sta'inu bis-sabri was-salah, inna Allaha ma'as sabirin, which means, O ye who believe, seek help with patience and prayer. Surely Allah, God, is with the steadfast. So we are going through this lockdown, and it's been dragging on. It's been more than a year. And it has infected millions of people. It has impacted virtually every person on the planet. So fasting has those lessons that enable us to deal with these kinds of crises, deal with these kinds of difficulties, with this kind of isolation. Refraining from food and drink, we are taught restraint. We are taught patience. We are taught how to deal with difficult times. So Ramadan is that time where we reflect, where we have this self-assessment, and it's a means of self-improvement. It's a time to seek inner peace, and it brings us together. It's a time where humanity is brought together, where we are also taught the lesson of having love for all, having sympathy for all, having compassion for everyone. The Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of God be upon him, the founder of the religion of Islam, is reported to have said that the gracious God will be merciful to those who show mercy to others. You show mercy to the dwellers of the earth, and the one in the heavens will have mercy on you. There's also a long narration of Prophet Muhammad that I don't have time to read through all of it. But basically, on the day of judgment, God will say to man, O son of Adam, I was sick, but you did not come to visit me. And man will say, how can you be sick, God? And God will say that one servant of mine, one being that I created, he or she was sick, and you did not pay him or her a visit. Similarly, God would say, I was thirsty and you did not give me water. I was hungry and you did not give me food. And the idea is that the person who is thirsty and the person who is hungry should be helped by others, because we are all part of this big family. We are all part of humanity, and we should all serve one another. In the end, I would like to present a couple of quotations of Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, peace be upon him, the founder of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community within Islam. He writes, it is our principle to have sympathy for the whole of mankind. If a person sees that fire has broken out in the house of a Hindu neighbor and he does not get up to help put it out, I tell you truly that he is not of me. If one of my followers sees a Christian being killed and he does not go to rescue him, I tell you truly that he is not of us. I say it on oath and in truth that I have no enmity with any people. If anyone abuses me, I refer my plaint to God and not to any other court. Despite all this, it is our obligation to have sympathy with the whole of mankind. Similarly, he says, compassion for God's creation is such a thing that if man gives it up and moves away from it, he gradually becomes a beast. This is what the humanity of man demands, and one is human only as long as one treats one's brother with kindness, tenderness, and benevolence. There should be no discrimination in this matter. Just as Sadi said, human beings are like parts of a body. Remember, in my estimation, the scope of sympathy is very wide. One should not exclude any group or individual. So at this time, in this month of Ramadan, we reflect on these things, on these beautiful teachings of Islam, and we come together as in one big family, as in one humanity. Thank you.
Thank you, Imam Farhan. Now we have a nice video prepared by the kids. Salma, if you can play that for us.
ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shafia King. I'd like to wish you a happy Ramadan. Stay home, stay safe.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Khalik Ahmed. Ramadan Mubarak to everyone. I pray that everyone have a safe and blessed month of Ramadan.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Fariha Nees. I like to wish you all happy Ramadan Kareem. Stay home, stay safe.
Assalamu alaikum. Ramzan Mubarak to everyone. We pray everyone has a safe and blessed month of Ramadan. I enjoy my family praying all together, especially eating all together. My favorite is yogurt, lassi at sari and samosa at iftari.
My name is Amira Mahmood. I wish you a happy Ramadan. Wear a mask and stay safe.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ramzan Mubarak to everyone. We pray that everyone has a safe and blessed month of Ramzan. Our favorite thing to do in Ramzan is to break a fast as a family.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Ashman Ahmad Khan. I like the month of Ramadan because our whole family do iftari together and do namaz together. Jazakallah.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Faraz Mahmood. I would like to wish you all a happy Ramadan. Have fun, stay safe.
That was wonderful messages. So now I would like to invite the Canadian Jama'at National Director of Public Affairs and Media, Mr. Asif Khan, for the closing remarks. After his remarks, Mr. Alimuddin Ahmed, the regional president of our Eastern Ontario Jamaat, will lead us in silent prayers.
Hello, bonjour, and assalamu alaikum. On behalf of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat Canada, I wish you all a Ramadan Mubarak, and thank you for spending your valuable time with us today. Specifically, I'd like to thank our esteemed guests, politicians, dignitaries, and fellow Canadians who've joined us. Ramadan is always a special time of the year for Muslims. In a nutshell, it is a time of deep inner reflection, spiritual renewal and commitment, charity towards others, prayers for oneself, family, friends, and humanity at large, and greater community and social bonding. Thanks again, and hope you enjoyed today's program. Thank you for your camaraderie, greetings, and messages and inspiration for this blessed month of Ramadan. And please remember to engage with us on Twitter. Please tweet your comments and questions using hashtag VirtualRamadan, R-A-M-A-D-A-N. Ramadan Kareem to everyone. May God be with us all. Thank you. Thank you, Fahim.
Thank you, Asaf. Now I will ask our regional president, Mr. Alimuddin Ahmed, for the silent prayers. And right after the silent prayers, we'll have the Adhan. And after Adhan, this session will end. This event will end.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I'll cut short and I'm thankful to all the participants who joined today, our media team also, our PR team, everyone. And just one message I'll just give that we wish to thank our wonderful frontline workers, doctors, nurses, police, paramedics, everyone. Extraordinary situations call for extraordinary responses, and our frontline workers, heroes, have risen to that challenge. So let's support them, and how we in individual capacity can support them to stay home and make everyone safe and ourselves. So we pray that may Allah remove all the difficulties and the pandemic all over the world, and we return to the world of peace, harmony, and sympathy for each other as we desire and seek sympathy from our Allah, God. Ameen. Please join me in silent prayers. Ameen.
Now to you, Muhammad, for Adhan, the call for prayers. Muhammad? Is Muhammad with us?
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
To our Ottawa West Chapter President Hamis Lamalata and Ottawa East Chapter President Wasim Mahmood, technical team lead Sarmad Ahmed, and PR team lead Wes Mahmood for their help in successfully organizing this program. This concludes our program. Thanks everyone for joining us.
तौफीक दे खुदा मुझे.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mariam Chaudhry. I want to thank everyone who is staying at home. It is a difficult time and we appreciate anyone who is keeping others safe. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Fraz Mahmood. I would like to wish you a happy Ramadan, and I would also like to thank the frontline workers that have been working day and night during this pandemic. Jazakallah.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shafiqeen. Thank you to the teachers who continue to teach and support students in these difficult times. Jazakallah.
Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak. My name is Khalid Ahmed. I want to say thank you to all the doctors, nurses, and paramedics on the front lines risking their lives to keep others healthy.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm Zafar Ahmed. Ramadan Mubarak, stay home, stay safe.
We want to say thank you to anyone still working an essential job. We would not be able to continue living our everyday lives without you.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Amir Mahmood. I wish you a happy Ramadan. Stay home, stay safe.
Thank you to everyone volunteering their time to help friends, family, and neighbors. I appreciate your support.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Amta Sabu Nabila. I want to say thank you to all the doctors, nurses, and paramedics on the front lines, risking their lives to keep others healthy. Jazakallah.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Aznur Ahmed, and I want to thank the police officer and firefighters. Assalamualaikum. My name is Alvina Kushmala Ahmed, and I want to thank the doctors, nurses, paramedics for risking their lives to save others.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Ramiz. Thank you everyone for staying home and staying safe.
My name is Misha. I want to say thank you to all the doctors, nurses, and paramedics on the front line risking their lives to keep others healthy.
Je m'appelle Ryan et je voudrais remercier les employés de magasins qui s'assurent que nous pouvons toujours acheter la nourriture et les nécessités que nous avons besoin.
एक मुश्त खाक हो के भी
لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله 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 لا إله